Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, we're going to start our ongoing meditation session now. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, you can mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these meditation sessions, we mainly try to strengthen you, just providing informations for you to practice yourself. Our purpose is not to make a follower or the students behind ourselves. Our main purpose is giving information and help you to develop your own practice. So when it comes to meditation, as you know, there are more informations day by day we can find. But at the same time, whatever the information we gather, it is going to be totally different once you get into practice. So mainly, we have a structure, we build up a structure, especially when you start with this meditation. Following that structure is very important. And later, once you master yourself, you don't need any structure. So in the very basic level, we come with the posture. And you have to maintain a very solid posture, keeping your back straight, neck head straight in one line. And at the same time, sitting is just not the physical sitting. Once you come to sitting, you have to let go your personality, your personal identity. And other thing is that in the sutras, it's explained Sunyagara gatova, rukkamula gatova. So maybe like under the tree, very empty space, isolated place. So like that, there are places explained in different ways. But here, when it comes to sitting, how you can create that kind of environment. So even you when you practice at home, you have to let go the idea of this is my home. Oh, I am here, the owner, or I am the husband, or I am the wife. Everybody need to be silence. I am practicing meditation. So don't sit with that kind of mentality. Just imagine you are in the middle of the jungle, under a tree. You have no ownership. You are completely 100% surrendered to environment. So have the same mentality when you come to the sitting. Don't sit with your identity. Don't sit with your responsibilities. Don't sit with your personality. So you completely get out of it. Another thing is you sit with the open mind. This is very important. So the open mind here means you let go all your experience, ideas, thoughts, or the preconditioned mind, and you sit with the mind ready to accept whatever going to happen in the moment without resisting. So that is kind of like a very challenging way to sit. Because even though mentally we let go our identity, personality, sometimes we're not willing to accept whatever going to happen. Why we have to sit like this way? Because our life itself happening as a kind of like a habit. With this life itself, samsara itself is an addiction. There's nothing else. Even the samadhi, meditation, there's everything. If you look very carefully, it's kind of like most of things. It's like addiction. There's no difference. Only the surface level of the behavior may be different. Drug addict people, and they become high with the drugs. And sometimes people addicted to shopping or online buying. And when you click the enter button with the online purchasing, that you feel the high. Though another person feel the high, complete, happy with the drugs, and another people feel the same thing. Your mind reacts the same way when you find something, search and find something and buying something and going shopping and buying something. So the same thing. The both habits. And the meditation also can become like a habit. And even the samadhi also, tranquility state, some people addicted to that. And that also can become a habit. So then the awareness is the place that you break down the habit. So to get into this, get out of this, all the samsaric habitual patterns or the addiction, we have to develop the awareness. And when it comes to awareness, the important thing is you are willing to accept and you are willing to change. You are willing to let go. So today is the Asala full moon day. And one of the major important event happened. There are many things happens, but one of the major important thing is the Prince Siddhartha left the palace. And of course, the first Dharma sermon happened with the 5 ascetics, and there are many other important events. But I want to bring something here related to the meditation, and it will help for you one day, maybe not today, but just hearing this will help for you one day to digest yourself and to act according to that understanding. So the Prince Siddhartha left the palace, and not only the palace, his family, his child, the beautiful wife, and everything. He didn't take anything, and even the jewelries, all the cloth and everything he sent back. Even he didn't wear that any royal costumes, jewelries. That things also he sent back. It deeply saying something. It will help for you one day. Remember this. When you want the change, You have to get out of everything that you keep doing. Everything means everything. Otherwise, otherwise the change that you're looking for, you cannot get. So when you hear this, maybe your mind get, turbulence. How we can do like that way, like that. But when you look for the change, with this everything, the change is not going to happen. So that's why when you look at even during the Buddha's time, and the Yasa, that he was one of the millionaire during Buddha's time, young person, and he used to be kind of like the same like the Prince Siddhartha. He had so much wealth, and he met the Buddha, and then he had a conversation and he understood the Buddha, and then he go with the Buddha. He didn't go back to his life. If you look that, whenever you have time, just read that the basic background and the characters and that what happened during how that's been. And it's more, then you will understand. When you look for the change, one of the major important thing, whatever you keep doing with that everything, you cannot make the change happen deeply. And sometimes now you know this. So once you know that deeply, maybe rather than the material things, at least try to change deeper inner desires that you carry within yourself. That is one of the major important things you have to practice in your life. Rather than repeating and trying to nourish that, rather than depending on it, try to little by little, get out of that your inner fashion or the inner identity. And then you will see the change that you keep looking in front of you. So through the meditation, we're trying to develop our mind, to cultivate it, uplift it, to purify it to certain level, to understand this, our inner behavior. So when it comes to meditation, why the meditation is important? Why that it need for us? Why it help for us? There are many ways that you can explain. This is one way. Remember this. So we have our five senses with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. And we always depending on perceptions. And the mind depends on the names and forms. So, and at the same time, our inner behavior, form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition, five aggregates. So we have memory. So when you see something to your eye, in the moment when you see it, so that whatever in the present moment, whatever happening there, it happens, and at the same time, you experience it. And out of this all, you get feelings with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. We no need to go to the mind. It's a totally deeper another chapter. But when you understand this all five things, you will naturally, you can get into that understanding. So with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, body, and we get the always perception. So the perception always changing. And this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, senses, always organs changing, always change. So when something come to your eye, and then according to the process, then you get the feeling. What is this feeling? So this feeling is not what you see or what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you feel. And it is not your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or like that. So listen this very carefully and get it. Your feeling is not what you hearing. As example, the words you hearing is not feeling. There is nothing. And at the same time, your ears or your eyes, and also there is also nothing. But out of this all, the eye object, eye, and then with the eye consciousness, then the feelings arise. So that is something brand new. Your feelings is happening inside you. So your body, your mind responding not for what you see from outside, what you hear from outside. It responding to the feelings arise in you. So this feelings is kind of like a chemical reaction. And it once the feelings has the same kind of patterns with the thoughts. And what will happen? That feelings start to overtake our awareness or the mind. And then what will happen? The whole system start to go with the feeling. And that become our memory. And another way, we call it volition. Mental formations. So the mental formation is not what you saw, not what you experience. Mental formations or the volitions means out of your experience, out of your perception, what you perceive, there is something happened. It's the byproduct of your perception and the perceiver. But it's not related to, or it's not going to respond to the perception or the perceiver. It's not going to respond to that. It has its own way. It come out of the perception and the perceiver. When the perception and the perceiver come together, that means that I object and the I conscious, I awareness, that once this everything come together, there is something brand new, something happens. It never going to respond to your awareness. It has its own way. But the thing is, we hold this feeling as us. No. Once it becomes feelings, it's like this. So just imagine an egg. So when you go to restaurants, so sometimes they ask, how you want the egg? No, there are many ways, you can tell, sunny side, or that hard boil, hard boil, scramble. In many ways you can ask. But the egg is, still it is there. But how about once it, boil it, or fried it, you cannot bring back to its pure nature. It anymore, you cannot change it. But before it boil or fried, you have options. But once you did it, you cannot reverse it. So your experience also the same. When you experience in the moment, you have opportunity. But if you miss the opportunity, once it happens, you cannot change it. Only way you just go with, that is what we call the karma. Karma means our previous actions and the result. And then the moment that whatever from our body, from our words, from our mind, whatever outcome, also karma. But once you have the awareness, when the perception come, when the recognize happening, before it's go to feelings, the way it's happened, if you have the awareness to recognize that, your mind become the master and it take the authority regarding the moment, rather than that your habitual pattern or the addiction overtake the moment. So you cannot do it by thinking. Why? Because your thinking also, as it come as a result of your experience already. You are already in that path. That's why that it is called samsara. That's why we need to cultivate our mind, develop our mind to certain level. So it's like, when the doctor want to do a surgery, of course, doctor know how to do it. Maybe all the tools there. But he's not going to do it in the open space sometimes. There is a special operation theater for that. It make more comfortable for both of them. It may bring the safety. And at the same time, that out of this all surgery, the patient need to be recovered. So that environment is very necessary, the whole process. So like that, when you change the mind, the result, the outcome should be more profitable than the moment that you are. So that's why by thinking, suddenly you cannot change things. Maybe we agree, maybe we get tired, we disappointed, we afraid for things, we don't know things. Maybe we like the change, but that change not going to be valid. So it will disappear within a moment. It will go back to, we go back to the same point again. But once you have the understanding, the clarity, with that clarity, with that awareness, when you see how the change happening, and out of that, when you make a very conscious decision, and that will going to remain with you. So that's why the meditation is need for us in a certain way. Why? Because we are in a huge current happening within us. And we hold maybe it as something from happening outside. And maybe we think it is our own inbuilt reason. No, this is the moment by moment reaction happening in you. So then if you aware, if you become mindful about it, in that very moment, you will get out of it. So when you do that, you cannot be so hard on the practice. You cannot push you too much. So as you know, there is a very famous story that one student came to master to practice martial art. And the student asked, Master, I want to practice martial art, and how many years it will take to complete and get the black belt? So the master told, oh, if you practice well, it will take 5 years. So the student told, 5 years, it is too much. So how about I practice 10 hours per day and 24/7 every day I practice so hard, then how many years it will take, how long it will take? So then the master told, oh, if you practice like that, it will take maybe 10 years. So it is very important. We are motivated in different ways for the result. But at the same time, it is very important to be being patient. It is very important being patient, same like the motivation. And at the same time, you have to find the balance in between conscious practice, consistency, and at the same time, intensity. And if you cannot find the balance in between this, you get tired. You get injured inside, disappointed. Maybe that injury start to come in a different way. So that's why you have to be patient. Your motivation is important. You have to be patient. Consistency is important. And at the same time, intensity, you have to find the balance in between both. Don't put too hard yourself. And at the same time, don't be too lazy yourself. So with that, we bring our awareness to follow the sensation of our own inhalation, exhalation in front of our nose and upper lip area. Just allow your mind to settle down. And in the very beginning, our purpose is developing tranquility state, undisturbed mind, one-pointedness. So when it comes to this, there are few levels you have to understand. So one of the undisturbed mind, solid mind, is you settle down with your posture. Your mind accepting it and become so comfortable with the posture. So that is one way. That also the very one step in when you go towards the tranquility state. That also kind of like a tranquility state. And then you develop it, that tranquility state, to integrate with the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. And in the beginning, your body feels so comfortable, but you cannot find the sensation very clearly. But still, be with the body. Keep focusing. And then in a certain level, you will see your mind slowly settle down with the sensation. So then it is your awareness become more stronger. Now you're comfortable with the posture and solidness, undisturbed mind you happening with the posture. Now you are solid and you have the undisturbed mind, tranquility state with the primary mental object. Two things. And now still you just observing the inhalation, exhalation, and then the mind settle down. And in a certain level, when you keep observing, and slowly your mind able to get into a little bit deeper in this sensation. And in the beginning, you settle down with the surface level of sensation. And then in a little bit, what will happen? The surface level of sensation will disappear, and then you deeply get connected to the sensation. In that very level, your mind anymore not going to depend on the body. And you can sit for many hours. The sitting is not the important thing anymore. And your mind slowly, it's like you jump out of the parachute, and once you open the parachute, and your landing slowly happening. So like that, you get out of the body. Anymore, you not depend on the body. Now you deeply connected to the sensation. And even it is not just the surface level of sensation, it's deeply you connected to the sensation. And even in that level, sometimes you don't see anymore inhalation or exhalation separately. Just only the sensation. So then now it's a third level of tranquility state. When you keep going like that way, little by little, now anymore you have no desire to respond to outside nature, and no responding to the body, and even not responding to any other feelings, and now even not going with the inhalation, exhalation. Now deeply you connected to the deeper sensation, and in that level, maybe your entire body feel as one sensation. Or maybe only the breathing you feel as one sensation. And you go with it, settle down, your mind become more comfortable, relaxed, and you have the more joy, the pleasure, being with the practice, and you have the undisturbed mind. And then when you keep going this way, little by little, even the sensation that you see, and you will recognize it changing moment by moment. And still the observer, maybe you feel like solid. There's somebody. It's like I observe. But if you keep deeply focusing and go with the sensation and how it changes, and you yourself start to see that what is this observer. So that is where the vipassana you need. Because in the vipassana level, you go into the observer. That is very challenging moment. Because mostly in the world, in the condition of this human mind, we go with the feelings. We go with the sensation. We go with the perception and thinking. The perceiver maintain this all. But now you get out of the bodily sensation, bodily reactions, and even the mind settle down. Now this is a moment yourself to see that what is this experience. What is this observer? How it behave? What is happening there? And there you find that observer itself means another part of thoughts. So now you know how the thoughts happens. So then you know yourself how this observer arises. Observer arise out of form, feeling, perception, volitions, and recognition. So the recognizer come out of this all. So now you are in a point. You are not responding to body, even the body not depending from perception, and the mind anymore not depending from thoughts, and it's more undisturbed place, and very clear, and your awareness so awake. In that very level you can see this observer itself means just thoughts. That thoughts may be appear like energy. It can appear as a light. It can appear as in any form. But finally you come to a point to see this all thoughts. So now we're going to practice a little bit. So keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. Settle down with your posture. And scan head to toes yourself and say Swapatveva, or may I be well and happy. 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no harm come to me, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future plans. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe out 3 times and find the sensation in front of your nose and upper lip area, please. So bring your attention to the sensation and just settle down with the sensation. Don't interfere with it. Don't disturb it. Just observe and recognize inhalation as inhalation, exhalations as exhalations. Do nothing extra. The very first level, settle down with the body, and then settle down with the sensation. If your mind go here and there, you can bring it back again and again. Once you settle down with the sensation, observe and see the very nature of the sensation. Can you see who is observer? The very behavior and nature of the observer. What is me? What is my experience? Just look into it. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy, May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I offer this whole practice to the great qualities of the Supreme Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And by the power of these meritorious deeds, may I get out of the sickness, old age, and the death, and finally attain to supreme bliss of liberation or the Nibbana. Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Attai Maya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranamha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahannotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu Ittavata Changi Sampadang Punya Sampadang Sabbe Devanumodantu Sabba Sampatti Siddhya Sabbe Bhutanumodantu Sabba Sampatti Siddhya Sabbe Sattanumodantu Sabba Sampatti Siddhya. Bless you.